Shalom. Good morning to you. Uh, Actually, I want to create this tutorial last week, but I cannot because I'm still recovering after the accreditations, especially the field assessment. I feel dizzy and I have a diarrhea for 5 days. And thankfully, since Tuesday, it is gone, and now I can fully focus on continuing the tutorial, especially for our third part. Before we start our third part, we have to check some of the components, which is our backend and also your configurations in the application, such as maybe later on Android Manifest, configurasi.java, and we will create the request handler. Request handlers functioning as a connector between the back end and also the front end. It will translate the JavaScript object notation result from the back end, and later on the fourth part we will utilize the result from request handler. So in a full conscious, I separate the third part into two parts, the part 3 and also part 4, to help you understand what the importance of paying attention in creating the actual handler for our communication between the front end and also the back end. So let's start by checking first. We have to check the actual XMPP. You have to make sure that the database is running. Okay, while you are waiting for database is running, you have to check the back end, especially your controller or mahasiswa controller. Okay, I will try to check this one over here. Wait a minute. Okay, ini kenapa kebukanya ini ya Python ya? It's okay. I will open recent. Tada. Okay, bye bye you. Okay, we have to check the mahasiswa controller, and hopefully there will be no problem in here. We have our previous problem, which is I would type as model, not models. Yeah, I have already solved that problem, and you have to check every response. And when you are trying to access the index.php, it should result the actual content of your mahasiswa table. Okay, yeah, this is the most important one, to input the data, and you have to make sure that it is running well. Okay, parse string file get content php input data. Okay, so now we will try to configure the front end right now. Especially we have to create a new class called request handler. But before that, we have to configure also the configurasi.java, which contains the actual URL. And please remember, this URL will be different each time you are connecting to a different network. Why am I using localhost in here? Because I'm using a virtual device. And later on the class, hopefully this afternoon, I can show you the actual running applications, and hopefully there will be no problem. Okay, so without any further ado, let's check the URL, the base URL, the ID. Okay, this is the same one to access your specific details of students. ID, nama, NIM, IPK. Yeah, make sure it is the same with your JavaScript object notations on the API. ID, nama, NIM, IPK. Yeah, you have to make sure it is the same. And also extra ID that we will utilize later on. Okay, now we'll create a new class. By first one, choose your folder and then file. Okay, new Java class. Do not choose Kotlin because you are not using Kotlin. The name will be request handler. Yeah, request handler. Okay, this is the request handler that will be that will communicate with our backend. the function of getting with our API. Okay, so request handler, what is the content of request handler? We will use some functions, yeah, such as get request, that maybe we'll be using the HTTP URL connections later on. So in this context, wait a minute, there's a message. Okay, I don't know, there's someone who tried to open the lab, but why it is so hard to knock the door rather than just try to push the door so hard. Okay, so we will create a new functions, public string send get request. Okay, and we will pointing the request URL in here. URL. Okay, send get request. Okay, if there's an error, it's okay because we have to return a string. Yeah, because we haven't returned anything, yeah, it will mark as an error. String builder, we call it SB, is a new string builder. Okay, and we will try send request. Okay, try. When there's a try, there will be a catch. Okay, just leave it as it for now. We will try what we are trying. We are declaring the URL is URL, okay, as a new URL that contains the request URL like this. HTTP URL connection, we call it as con, is a new object called HTTP URL connection that will open the connections. URL dot open connections. Yes, open the connection. Okay, after we are opening the connections, now we have to set the request method. Con.set request method, we set it as get. Okay, make sure it is the same with our backend. Get. Okay, so it will communicate with our backend and utilize the get method in here that is sent from our applications. See, the server request method, it is come from the request from our request handler to our backend. Okay, we are using a buffered reader, okay, to read the data. New buffered reader. Okay, as new input stream reader. Okay, buffered reader will be a new buffered reader. Okay, that will, I will make it like this one to make you easier to see. Utilize the input stream reader to read all of the data from our backend, and later on we will store it in a string, and the string will be returned to the request later on when we are trying to communicate, maybe in main_active.java or in list mahasiswa.java. Okay. After we are buffer leader, we are declaring a new string. We call it as. This is only temporal, so no problem. While each line of result, we call it as, is the result of buffered reader. We read all the lines, and it is not null. Okay, while as is not null. Wait a minute, I did something wrong in here. Oh yeah, I see. This one is correct one. Okay. Yeah, you have to close the brackets before the not null. Okay. We try to use a string builder and make the end of the line using the stored data from our database. Okay, and now we will close the buffered reader. Okay, and disconnect the connection. Yeah, this is important because if you are not closing the connections, it will create a new problem. And the exceptions, we are not throw a new runtime exceptions, but rather we are just printing what is the actual error. Like this. And after that, last we return the SB. We convert it to string. Ta-da! See, there is no error. So don't worry if there is an error. It is because you are not finishing writing that code. Okay, this is for the send get request. What about the later? Okay, on later it will be much more simpler that we only utilize the parameters using and also the hash map to write to our database. Okay, we will create a new functions in here. We call it send post request. Public string set send post request with some parameters. We call it string request URL, and then also we are utilizing hash map. Oh my bad, I hate this keyboard. Hash map, the content of hash map will be string and also string. Okay, oh sorry, double string, my bad. Okay, just ignore that error because we haven't returned anything. And about the hash map, you just context action, we just create or we can import later on using the hash map. Okay, buffered reader, output stream URL, import java.util.hashmap. Okay, save. Okay, it's okay. There's no typo in here. I have to make sure it is using the correct case, yeah, because it is case sensitive. Okay, what we return? We will return the send request with body. The method, the server request method will be post. Okay, and then the request URL, and also the post data params. Okay, send request to with body will be an error because we haven't create that functions. I think we will create this function first before we continue to other functions. Okay, now this is the functions for, I will take a note in here, function to send post request to API. Okay, and now we will create a new class. See, it will be like create a new method, send request with body request handler. Just click it like this. Okay, it will make your life easier. Yeah, that's why. Okay, and we have to return a string. The content will be similar with our send get request, but the differentiations, it will be separated by the certain request. Okay, a new string builder, we are call it as SP, is a new string builder. I just make it like this to make it not error. Oh, sorry. Yeah, to make it not error. Yeah, I know you are very sensitive with red crinkles in your code, but it is okay. Error is a friend. Try. After try, it will be catch. Okay. What we are trying to open a new connections. The first one will be the same with the previous method. We are declaring the request. Okay, we'll put it over here. URL, sorry, URL, new URL, new URL request URL. The STP URL connections will be con. See, this is the same. Okay, and now we will set some parameters for the connection. Okay, the first one will be oh sorry, my bad, we will make it different. Con dot set read timeoutnya we will set as 1500 millisecond. Okay, con dot set connect timeout we will set as 50,000, the same. Con dot set request method will be the method. See, okay, no problem with that because the method will be sent through the post data params. See in here, send request body. This is the method post, so the method will be what you call it, sent through our parameters. Con dot set do input. Okay, we'll make it through. This is an input, and also for output, yes, it is also as output. Okay, cannot resolve symbol method. Okay, wait a minute. Do I oh my bad. Tada. Yeah, this is my problem. Yeah, post is a string, so the string should be method. Okay, the send get request with body will be the same for every request to our API that utilize the send request with body. Okay, I have to triple check everything before I continue to the next step. Okay, now we are utilizing output stream to read or write to our database from API. Okay, we are utilizing okay. I hate this keyboard. Yeah, because the end is near the backspace. It's every time I go page up, page down, home end, and it is really annoying. But I love this keyboard. This keyboard, the Nupi Air 75, if I'm not mistaken. Output stream, a new output stream. Yeah, that get new output stream. Okay, it will automatically import for you, so you don't have to try to import manually. Why am I try to import manually the hash map? Because I do some typo in here that I'm using the small letter M. Okay, we are using the buffered writer. Okay, to write to our database, a new writer called writer is a new buffered writer. Okay, as okay, a new wait a minute, new output stream writer. Okay, that you will utilize the OS and the code we will use UTF-8. Yeah, this is the common char set. Okay. Yeah, you can write it like this if you want to make it more interesting, but it is back to your preference. Okay, since we are now getting the permissions to write the stream, now we are trying to write the data parameters sent from our applications. For example, when we are trying to add a new student, it will utilize the hash map in here to send the data parameters. Okay, writer, the functions will be write, get post string. Okay, data params like this. Okay, I know it will be a problem in here, yeah, because it should be data params. Okay, Sir Andrew is calling. Wait a minute. Halo bang. Rivaldo. Bang Raymond harusnya. Iya, kan kemarin ke Bang Henry, terus Bang Henry bilang bukan saya yang ngajar, harusnya dikembalikan ke Bang Raymond. Kalau nggak salah. Oke deh bang, sorry aku lagi bikin modul. Ya. Okay, sorry for the commercial break because there is a call from Sir Andrew. Yeah, I have to answer that one because it is related to a student that need help. Yeah, we will do our best to help our students when they are willing to help themselves. If the students didn't want to help themselves, then they have a problem. We cannot help anymore. Okay, I know the get post data string is not working because we haven't declared the method to get post data string. we are only declaring the send request with body, and later on we will create a new method get post data string like this. Okay, return 0 to make it not error. Okay, because this is integer. Okay, this is only temporary, yeah, to eliminate that error sign. I know you are frustrated with that error. Maybe you are traumatized with an error, but for myself, I'm not that I'm not that allergic to an error. Writer flush to send over the data, and also we close the writer. Oops. We close the writer. Now, after we are closing the writer, we are also need to close the output stream, because we will read the data sent to our the data will be sent to our backend, and we will read the result or the response from the server. That's why we have to close the output stream. And now we will read the response using buffered reader. We call it BR as a new buffered reader. Okay, new input stream reader like this. Okay, connection dot get response code. Okay, response code we make it 200, I think enough. And con get response code smaller than 300. We are utilizing ternary in here. You still remember ternary, right? If con.response code larger than 200 and smaller than 300, okay, we will get the input stream. Con.get input stream. But if it is not true, con.get error stream. Done. Okay, yeah, this is how to read it. If the the response code larger than 200 and below 300, we will get the input stream. But if not, it is smaller than 200 or larger than 300, we will get the error stream, and later on we'll trigger the exceptions. Okay, now we will see the response. Response later on will be shown in our system utilizing the toast. Toast is like a small notifications about the response. Yeah, I'm still using the last semester code for the Java, but I'm trying to modify in order to fulfill the usage of our new API. Okay, while the response, we are trying to read every line. Read line is not null. Okay, SB will be adding the last response to the last string builder as response. Oops, like this. Okay, now we are closing the buffered reader. Okay, first plus in birth leader, and also we are disconnecting the connections. Okay, catch exception. Okay, we are not using throw and new runtime exceptions. No, we are going only to print the error stack trace is and return sb2 string. Now we will continue the application. This is a little bit more. We already reaching the finish line. Now our duty is to fulfill this one, the get post data with that we are trying to create a temporary fix by returning a 0. Okay, you have to make sure the hash map, the name of the hash map will be different. So I will be using params in here to make it different. Okay, the return 0, we will just put it over there. Yeah, we don't want to what you call it, delete it right now, but we have to make sure that since we are using the certain encoding, if there will be a different encoding, we have to throw unsupported encoding exceptions. Unsupported encoding exception like this. Okay, now we are trying to build a string builder. We call it as result is a new string builder. Okay, we are using a boolean. We call it as first, will be true by default. Okay, and a simple looping for every lines in our mapping. We call it entry. Like this one. Okay, if it is the first line, first is true. Okay, we will call it false. Else result dot append using the like this. Okay, first false is an append. Oh, sorry, this is a character string. Ta-da. Okay, I know, just ignore this one. Yeah, this is intended to work like that. Okay, result append the URL where there's URL encoder. Okay, dot encode the entry dot get key that will using the char set UTF-8 result dot append at on the last response we are using equals in here, and also the value from the key. We are trying to encoding the JavaScript object notations that later will be read by our backend in here. Ta-da! See? Like this. Equals to. Okay, that's the usage of that code if you are asking. Yeah, I'm not trying to only dictate the code but also explaining how it works, so it could help you to understand how the coding is communicating between the back end and also the front end. Result dot append URL encoder dot encode. Okay, the entry dot get get value. The encoding will be UTF-8 like this, and we are returning. Wait a minute, we are trying to build a string while we are using the integer. It will be string. Okay, return what we are going to return. Result dot to string. Remember, we are building a string. You have to remember, we cannot convert a string to integer like that. Yeah. If we are trying to build a string, then return as a string. Okay, are we finished? Not yet, because we only finish this part, the send post request to API. There will be send put request and also send delete request. So now we will create a new functions to send. We get wait a minute, put request to API. If you are feeling lazy, you can copy paste, and also a function to send delete request to API. Yeah, if you are feeling lazy, you just copy paste the code from here to here. Yes, you just copy this one. Okay, public string set publish, my bad, typo. Send put request. The method will be put. See, as simple as that. That's the what you call it, beauty of using two methods. Okay, we call it put data params, yeah, to make a difference. I know it will be the same, it will be only different what you call it, temporary, yeah, but we have to make it different from the other functions. Okay, the next one will be public string set delete request. Ding. Okay, data param delete data param, first will be delete, and we are done. This is the actual code that will be run on your applications. And how to test it, you can continue to the fourth part, and hopefully it will running well. And I am targeting the functions. I know it is really busy because after the accreditations there will be some mini tests examinations for our students, whether it is the final defense or a proposal seminar. But it really takes times, and I'm sorry because of this inconvenience, and hopefully you can understand. And as a bonus, I will give you some bonuses later on that I will explain for myself in the classes this afternoon for the Sistem Informasi students, and for the Teknik Informatika students tomorrow morning at 9 I will explain what is the bonus that I will give to you. Okay, that's all for today. This is the third part. We will continue on the fourth part in the next video. Have a great day.